we have a 1951 Willys Jeep truck, and this old girl's been sitting for about 44 years. And as you can see, she's a little rough around the edges. We done got the front bumper delete kit here. That was extra back in the day. You had to pay a little bit more for that. She does have the good old 226 Hurricane, well, Super Hurricane engine in there. The hood propping and doing what it's supposed to do. You can see we got an engine in here. When I picked her up, she did turn just a little bit, but well, she's got just a little bit of wiggle in her. I do believe it's some stuck valves and stuff, because she's been sitting for a good 44 years, and that moisture in Missouri is pretty rough on these old engines. I'm not sure where the dipstick on this one is. It's probably over here somewhere. There she be. Let's see. Oh, no, she got oil in her. Let's see. Boy, that's some dark oil in that thing. You can see a few crispies from some rust being down in there, but she's not in too bad a shape, I don't guess. And you can see she says Super Hurricane. When they came out with these, they were running 4 cylinders, and when they put this in there, I think they went from like 60-something horsepower to like 75. She does have a little bit of rust here and there. I do believe the reason she was parked was due to the rear end here. As you can see, somebody has took the rear differential cover off of there, and it's now full of dirt daubers, and a whole lot of rust. So we'll pressure wash that out, spray some PB Blaster in it, and it should be good to go for another 50 years. On the interior, we do have the Radicus Giganticus starter package here, and the good old floor pan delete kit, because they're pretty rough. I'm going to say in 1979, when she was at the car show, well, if the camera will do its thing, at the car show, she was probably already pretty rough. They probably sprayed her with a good old rattle can to make her look nice and shiny, but it's been rusted for a long time. On the other side, we do have the good old Performance Bondo package here, and if you want to drag race, all you got to do is pull that off of there, and that's probably 10 pounds of Bondo you lose, and you'll probably get another 1/10 of a mile per hour. She's got a lot of Bondo, and the bed sides were completely rusted out, so they put that over it. The best thing, though, it does have a piece of 1/4-inch diamond plate in the bed floor, so that's never going to go anywhere. But we're going to go ahead and spray this engine off. We're probably going to have to pull the head, because I'm sure there's some stuck valves, and it's easier just to pull the head from the get-go instead of messing with it. And we should have her running here pretty soon, and hopefully driving. We do have, that tire don't look too bad. We got 3 flat tires. That one might hold some air. All the spark plugs are in pretty good shape and not rusted off, so we're going to go ahead and try to get these out real quick, and we may just go ahead and fill it up with the acetone and stuff and leave the head on it, and we'll just look and see if the valves are moving. But first, we'll see how bad it looks down in the engine. Well, I guess them little tiny plugs came out of this thing that were in the glove box. And that looks really good. There's no rust on it or anything, so that's a good sign. And honestly, down in there don't look too bad. We may get lucky and not have to pull the head off of this one. Same thing, there's no real carbon or anything on these things. It don't look like they have many miles on them. That one has a little bit of rust and carbon on it, but still nothing too bad. Got the plugs out of the rear, the other two. The number 6 was almost rusted off, so it was kind of a pain to get out, but it does not look too bad down in there. You guys can't see too good. I will get a bore scope here pretty soon, so you guys can see a lot better and we can see fully down in the cylinders. But so far, I mean, nothing too bad. I think we're going to be able to leave the head on this one instead of taking it off. It's time to mix up our good old acetone and transmission fluid mixture, because when I went and got the thing, it turned a little bit, and now I can't get it to turn. I'm going to say it turned to where it caught some rust, and that stuff right there should break that rust free. I went ahead and we put the ATF transmission, well, acetone and transmission fluid mix down in here. It's been setting for about a day now, and quite a bit of it sunk down past probably the rings and probably now in the oil pan. So hopefully we can wiggle this motor back and forth. It did have a little bit of movement, but kind of had a stuck spot. Is it gonna move? Oh, there we go. It goes that way. It'll go this way, but it won't go the other way. I think we about got her. Nope. Right there, it's pretty good and stuck. Huh. Right when one gets on a little bit past top dead center, it gets stuck. The only reason I know that's because it's wrote down there on the crank. I'm gonna go ahead and get a battery and clean them battery terminals up, find us a better ground, and we'll whirl it over with the starter. That should be able to break it loose. I don't think it's a rod or anything that's stuck. I think it's just got a little bit of rust on top of them pistons somewhere, and it's catching on the lip of rust, or maybe it's a valve that ain't one to come up, because it'll go almost a full rotation, but it stops right a little bit past top dead center on. I went ahead and got the battery cables all hooked up on this thing, and we're going to be smarter this time and cover the engine up instead of like we did with the old fire truck and got covered with transmission fluid and acetone. This should hopefully keep it all from spraying on us while we jump the wire to the starter there. Let's see if the starter's going to work for us. There we go. Oh, there. Oh, man, really? I should have known. At least it seems like it's got compression. It'll sure spray the transmission fluid and acetone everywhere. Okay, we got all that out of there now. Some of it hit the hood, and this kept it from getting all over us at least. Let's see. Ow, that was a fan blade to the arm. Compression. Dead cylinder there. No compression. Compression. No compression. Whew. Man, that one's got compression. Whew. No compression on that one. So we have at least 3 to 4, well, 3 cylinders that the valves are not working on. I was hoping they'd work, but we're gonna go ahead and take a screwdriver, try to get to them, and if we can't, we will have to pull the head off. But all one valve is not working. Well, all of them work except for this one right here. This cylinder doesn't really have good compression. So we're gonna leave the spark plug out of it for a while, and once we get the engine running, we'll mess with it again, because I've beat on it quite a bit, and it seems to be stuck really well. Also, heated it up with the torch, and it just doesn't seem to want to budge. So we'll let it run for a bit, and once we get it running, maybe it'll put some heat in the block and break it loose. Let's see. It's strange, all these other ones came loose really easy, and that one there must have got more moisture or something on it, because it will not budge. Honestly, everything in there looks pretty good, except for the points are pretty corroded right there. We'll get them cleaned up, and there's the carcass of a spider, I guess when it molts or whatever, that's its skin or something like a snake does. But we'll go ahead and get that cleaned up, and then we'll change the oil. We got an oil filter and stuff for it. I'm sure that looks terrible because all the moisture normally rusts the tops out of them canister oil filters. So after quite a bit of sanding, that's all the stuff that comes off of them. And, well, they don't, let's see what they look like. They don't look too bad. They should get connection. Yeah, I figured it'd be stuck on there. Let's see if it's all rusted out. Normally they are. Oh no, it actually looks fairly clean in there. Other than it being a really old oil filter, it don't look too bad. Go ahead and see how much water's in this thing. Man, that's a long drain plug. There we go. And it looks like it's pretty much oil. I'm gonna go ahead and let her drain for a while. We'll fill her back up and get her whirling over, and we should have her running here in a second or two. Got a funnel. It may make this a little easier. If the the funnel fits. Normally they don't. I think I put the drain plug back in. Yeah, it ain't leaking out, so I guess we did. See if the old girl will fire up. So far it's been way too easy messing with this thing. The engine came unstuck real easy, and so far everything's been way too easy on it. We do have one cylinder with a stuck valve, but I think once she runs for a little while it'll fix that. Let's see if this carburetor's gonna fill up for us. I don't think so. We'll just put a little bit of gas in there. We may have to pull that off and give it a little bit of a rebuild. But the engine came unstuck easy, and well, if our luck holds out, she should fire up pretty easy. Cool's nice and hooked up. Let's give her a whirl. Doesn't sound like she's getting spark. We have that hooked up to the right one. Yeah, it's supposed to be the blue wire there. Me and the engine have had a long conversation about how it should run instead of not running, and I think it's gonna fire up this time, maybe. Let's give her a whirl and see what happens. There we go. Come on. Okay, she's gonna run now. Might as well just throw that other spark plug in there so it ain't pouring smoke out. I think we've got maybe another valve that's sticking because it shouldn't be pouring smoke out of there. I think we're good to go. I got that other valve where it closes now, so she should run halfway decent. why she's trying to run full throttle, but she's running pretty good. You can see she's leaving a good old smoke signal inside the cab too. Oh, I forgot, we put the throttle holder down to 9,000 on there. I might ought to remove that and maybe she'll idle. We're gonna start her back up, but she's not smoking too bad, just a little. But she runs now, all the valves are working, so we got her running. Now we're gonna let her idle for a while. We gotta put some water in her, and we're gonna see if we can get her driving and see if the old four-wheel drive and all that fancy stuff works. But you can already tell she's spitting back. She has a stuck intake valve again, or maybe we didn't have it loose all the way. That was the only two I had valve trouble with, it seemed. Number 6. Not number 6. Let's try number 5. Maybe a totally different one that's hanging up on us now. Man, that'll get you. So it's not number 3, 5, or 6. It's not number 2 either. Woo. Maybe it ain't got a stuck valve. Boy, that thing shocked the crap out of me though. Tell you that. The only one's this, and I'll take this and loose. We'll fire her up one more time, and about time to let her cool down and put some water in her. Yep. It's number 4 that has the stuck intake valve, come to find out. That's good to know though. I'm gonna go ahead, fill her with some water, get back with you guys, and we're gonna hopefully get number 4 valve loose, hook up a little bit of a fuel system, and see if we can drive her. Woo! She decided to catch on fire. That normally happens every video. I wondered when it happened on this one. I guess that spark plug wire that's loose and just zapping everything decided it wanted to set the world on fire. There we go. Might as well put that somewhere where it can't zap the gas that we've spilled everywhere. looks like she's leaked her water out. But we got her turned around in here without running nobody over, so we did pretty good. And it's having so much trouble trying to move is the good old Lincoln locker back here is broke. I'll show you guys what it's doing, then I'm gonna pull it forward and we're gonna get a hold of it with the welder and try to fix it, because I think since it broke there, it's binding everything up, and well, that should be neat to see what it's doing. Then we might put the cover back on that and put some oil in there for good measure. Running after a good 42, 43 years. She kind of drives. I did re-weld the spider gears in the back. She doesn't run too good. I should have just went ahead and pulled the head off of it and got them valves free, because trying to get a screwdriver through the plug hole and, you know, hitting the valve ain't the best thing. But she does run. She don't run that great. She could use a carburetor rebuild kit. I welded the spider gears. She still don't really like to move that much. It will and it won't. It just depends on, I guess, how it's feeling at that particular moment. But somebody welded it, it broke, and that's what caused the whole trouble there of it not wanting to move forwards or backwards. But here pretty soon we're gonna start getting a car every now and again running and driving on the highway. This one was gonna be a candidate for that, but we did find out the rear end was all messed up, and that's why I didn't order a carburetor rebuild kit or any brakes to put on this thing, because, well, she was a little rougher than what we thought, and the rear end's got some technical difficulties. But thank you guys for watching. Please consider leaving a like and maybe subscribing, because I got a lot more cool videos coming to the channel. And, well, I'll see you in the next video.